What's up, guys? Jeff from Texas Moto Works and the 95 Corvette. You know, we're in the World Series stage of this battle. Like, we're at the end of it, getting through it. Really tried my patience and my skill and my determination and my willpower and my insanity blocking mechanism that I have. Anyway, there's a post elsewhere on my YouTube page about kind of like the whole story with what happened with this car, but just a Reader's Digest version. Man, it's 2024. People don't even know what Reader's Digest is anymore. Anyway, basically the shortened version is that I was just going to do a cam and heads on the car, and ended up the harmonic balancer on these cars is a formidable opponent. And to make mine even more difficult, the hub and the balancer were completely seized together. Even after I got them apart, never could get them apart with heat and all that stuff. Looking back, should have used an induction heater. I will do that if I'm ever in this position again, which I won't be. But basically had to pull the motor out to get the balancer off, get out the OptiSpark, and get to the cam and all that stuff. So let's talk about where we're at here. Let me see. One second. That was not smooth at all. Anyway, so where we're at right now, a couple of things that I've got to solve, just kind of like the final little knock list of stuff. Right now it's idling rough because it's got a cam in it, but right off idle, like, you know, 1,000 RPM to 2,100 RPM, it's breaking up. And I think what's going on, I've been working with my tuner. Great tuner, by the way. If you need a tuner for an OBD1 car, let me know. But I think what the problem is, when we put the motor back together, I had to get it over to the muffler shop because it had headers and it was uncorked. Well, the problem is one of the headers didn't have the bung for the oxygen, the O2 sensor. One of them did, but it wasn't connected. So basically I had to drive the car over to the muffler shop, rich as heck, because the computer thinks it's lean and dumps a whole bunch of fuel. It barely made it there. So I thought, well, maybe I fouled the plugs, took a look at the plugs. Plugs are good. I'm thinking what happened was, during that time to and from the muffler shop, I'm thinking it probably clogged up the IAC in there, the idle air control. Is that right? So I'm going to pull that out today and take a look at it, because that's, you know, car runs good, but it's like right off idle, a little bit of a stumble. And I don't think it's anything to do with the tune. They keep sending me tune revisions, but I'm gonna tear into that now. And there's a couple of ways to do it. One is you can pull off the throttle body, kind of get a better angle. I might try that way. The other way that I saw is they disconnect this, and then they try and get a socket in. It's kind of deep. It's right back there. And from what I understand, it's a 32 millimeter socket. I got to take a look at it. The tutorial I was watching, the guy had a 92, and I'm not sure if it's different on the 95. So actually 96 Grand Sport, right? So I'll do that, check that out. And then the other big deal was getting headers to work on this car. So you've got two options: buy the cheap eBay headers, or spend $2,000 and get the expensive ones that fit perfectly. I went, because I've got so much other money into this car, I thought, oh, you know, the eBay headers, how bad can they be? Oh, so I had to bash them right there a little bit to get them to clear that. Had to wrap them. Was unable to wrap that one because I wrapped these when these were on the car. Couldn't get to that one. But the big issue is it's hitting this box right here. And I'm pretty sure what it's doing is heating this up and creating this terrible plastic smell that comes into the car. So this weekend, actually tomorrow, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna drop the header. I'm gonna beat it a little bit there just to get a little bit more clearance. I hate doing stuff like that, but it's more important that I lose a little bit of exhaust flow and it's not up against that, because I'm pretty sure that's what's causing that smell. And then I found two things. One is I'm gonna put heat stuff on here on the wall, heat reflective stuff. And then I also found self adhesive muffler bandage, which I wish I would have known about, because these little clamp things that they give it to you, those are death, man. They cut you in half, man. I think one of those sliced the hull of the Titanic. They are stout. I think they're stainless steel, and they play for keeps. They look great there, but if you go down under where it's clipped and turned under, it's a sharp edge, and you find it every once in a while. So anyway, got to do that. Fix the IAC, do that, and then I had a loose rocker today. I heard this noise. I'm like, oh, please God, don't be a wrist pin. Don't be a bearing. I went through this whole motor, new bearings, new rings, everything, but I heard this tapping like sound. It turns out I took off this valve cover and it was a loose rocker. Thank you. Anyway, so that's about it, guys. Getting really close. Actually drove it, been driving around a little bit, been logging, doing data logs and getting them back and forth to the tuner. So we're almost complete with it. Not 1 minute too soon. This car really just tested me. I think I mentioned this, but I'm just glad to have it behind me. I just don't want any problems with it. Just want to drive it and enjoy it. So, all right, guys. I hate asking this, but I'm kind of a new channel. I've had a channel for a long time, but I'm really kind of pushing it now. Everybody always says the same thing. Like and subscribe. Just do one of them for me. Just like it, subscribe. It'd be awesome. We can be friends. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.